your heartbeat's a rhythm. You know, your pulse, the way things move, the fluid. I mean, music is incorporated into everything we do. Music is my life.
Yeah. We're coming from the heart with this one. I want y'all to stand up. We're doing this for the people. Put your hands up.
The easiest way I could compare my music to another person is you have two different types of people. You have entertainers and you have artists. I consider myself an artist. So you look at every single picture painted by an artist, every picture's different. And they come from different things. They come from, you know, experiences, good or bad. You know, feelings, emotion, like love or hate, you know. Sometimes just plain out fun and stupidity. You know, there are tons of songs throughout the ages that are just the dumbest things you and I both could agree on that everyone will start tapping their foot to. You know, so it really depends on if I hear the instrumental or the beat, the song, what it drives out of me, or if I have an idea, like a positive message, like I get an experience through, you know, I know that it was difficult in my life to get through something, so I want to tell myself, keep your head up. You know, then I have this idea of keep your head up, keep doing your thing, and then all of a sudden I hear this beat that you know, one of my producers sends to me, and I'm like, that's it. That thought and that feeling to inspire somebody to keep their head up when they're going through something difficult can attach to this beautiful melody. And then the song, it almost writes itself. You know, and I have a song on my second album, you know, called Keep Your Head Up. That's just a beautiful, positive song.
Stand together. I do it for the pain. I do it for the people so we can maintain. We made it. I do it for the music. I do it for me. Through the fire. I do it for the struggle so we can be just so you know.
With the freedom that I had to, you know, all that structure gone, you know, I'd get excited and going out and drinking and girls and drugs and everything was just, yeah, let's do it again, let's do it again. And it's just, you know, it became, you know, such a cyclical vortex, and just a downward spiral of just continuing to, you know, dig myself into a deeper hole. You know, so I'm selling drugs to make money, pay rent, lie some more, you know, and the more I got and received and saw how much easier I didn't have to do anything, I just got caught in it, you know, and it's not an excuse, because I knew the whole time it wasn't right and I was destroying my life. You know, it just got to a point to where I spent more time intoxicated than I did sober. So when I was sober, I sped up as fast as possible to be intoxicated. And it could be anything. It could be just marijuana, you know, weed, pills, cocaine, alcohol.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day.
I called my dad one day because my body, I've always been a very physical person. I played sports throughout high school, wrestling, football, track, cross country, weightlifting, you know, always in great shape. When I got to college, it just stopped. And I remember my body breaking down and cramping to the point where I couldn't even open my hands. And it scared me, and I don't get scared. I was taught not to have fear. And I called my dad because I was at a restaurant at a new job. It was like my second day at this job. My hands are like literally, you know, cramping into themselves. And I crawled down the stairs and called my dad to come pick me up and take me to the hospital. You know, unfortunately, one of my best friends died a few months later, you know, from asphyxiation. And it destroyed a lot of relationships with a lot of good friends that we grew up with together, and it destroyed a lot of my relationships with the people that I have now, even though, you know, people don't understand what happens, but death is a tough thing at a young age, you know, and when that happened, it didn't wake me up. Me dying, me almost dying, him dying, and then my other best friend a month later who was with him came to my house and OD'd at my place. So that's three of us. Me first didn't wake me up. I figured I needed to move. You know, it's time to go somewhere else. So I moved up to Massachusetts. Wherever you go, there you are. You know, I drank just as much, did just as much drugs, and ran myself into a rut. Had to move back down here, and that was in 2008. It got worse. It got worse real quick. You know, I went from just taking pills to, you know, snorting coke to shooting needles and smoking crack. The only thing that I've felt as amazing as putting a needle into my arm is sobriety. I show up at work not recollecting anything, and there's my dad, you know, and he didn't know at the time, but, you know, I had track marks all up my arms, you know, just holes in me. And come to find out, he took me to a doctor. I told the doctor asked me, what have you been shooting? And I'm like, oh, well, combinations of things. And he said, you should be dead, you know, and I'm not. So what are we talking about, you know? And needless to say, to hear those things, at that time I didn't realize how blessed I was to really be alive, you know. And I walked a journey with my father, and it's been about 3 years of sobriety.
Take action. In order to achieve greatness, one must strive for it. Greatness is not learned, greatness is earned. Go now, go and get it. I do it for the music, I do it for you. I do it for the struggle and all we've been through. Everything. I do it for the hurt, I do it for the pain. Do it all.
My father is me, you know. He's my best friend. He was the person I hated the most in my entire life growing up, and then became the person that I wanted to be, and that I am now today. My dad's my best friend. I mean, we talk about too much. You know, you come home, you know, you call your dad, you tell him a story or tell him something, you know, he gives you, obviously, first his unsolicited advice, you know, which I didn't ask for that. Can't you just let me vent, you know? And you know, we talk too much, you know, too much to the point to where if I don't call him in a day, he wonders if I'm okay. And that makes me angry. But if I don't hear from him for a day, I freak out and I call him. You know, he lives across the street from me. You know, we bought a home across the street, we're fixing up, and I don't know how long that'll last, but I'm single right now and, you know, needed a decent little house. But, you know, my dad and I can't sit and fathom a moment if my father were to be gone. It's just, it's weird, you know. It's like having God and a human being in your life, you know. It's just always there. And he's bailed me out of every terrible thing I've done, every amount of money that I've stolen or taken advantage of, and every relationship that I've destroyed. He's always been there to show me how to get out of it in a manner that it mends that relationship with that person you hurt, not just being okay with doing it, you know. And that's the most admirable thing I've ever seen and experienced.
The real measure of success, right, my soul can rest in peace, I can take my last breath. Fear nothing in the valley of the shadow of death, cause I'm the baddest man standing in the valley of death. I do it for the music, I do it for you.
When I heard my voice recorded, and I heard her voice and knew that he did it, and saw the project, like, wow, this is something we created. Now that's not what got me. This kid who heard my song, he said thank you. And I knew at that moment that I had already met the goal I hadn't set for myself. I opened one mind and one heart, and I realized that, why am I not doing this?
I
should have been born the son of a king, but I was born the son of a fiend. Drug dealing all of my genes, barrel in my mouth wanting to squeeze, but I can barely breathe. Dear God.
So when that happened, I got that feeling. It was like, I want another one. It was the same feeling I had when I was, you know, using drugs and drinking. It was like, damn, that felt good. What's the next one gonna feel like? And I grasped, a love, an obsession, a compulsion, an addiction. Everything that I thought was a bad thing that I had as a character flaw became an attribute because I put it in something that can connect people.
KK and A, I swear that prison would have got me if it wasn't for you, babe.
I do it for the music, I do it for you. I do it for the struggle and all we've been through. For us, baby. I do it for the hurt, I do it for the pain. I never let you down. For the people, so we can maintain. Stand together. I do it for the music, I do it for me. Yeah. I do it for the struggle, so we can be
finally
free.
Made it.
I do it for the hurt, I do it for the pain.
Walk through the fire.
I do it for the people, cause life ain't a game.